Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be checking out the finals. Now, if you've heard of this game and you're not quite sure why, well, it's quite popular among the Battlefield crowd, and one of the reasons behind that is that it is made by Embark Studios, who are a fairly new studio, and they are actually comprised of multiple ex-developers who used to work on the Battlefield titles, and you will definitely see a little bit of inspiration in this game from Battlefield. Otherwise, though, it is a completely different game, as you can most likely tell. So the main big inspiration, and one of the selling points for this game, is that it has absolutely insane destruction. So when you're pushing the objectives in the game, sometimes the floor underneath you can just completely give way as somebody RPGs it or blows it up with a grenade, and it really can make for some interesting gameplay. So in this game, you are essentially a contestant in a game mode, and you'll notice all the way around the arena, there's an audience sitting there, and as such, the map you're playing on, it may be nighttime, it may be daytime, it may be foggy weather, rainy weather, sunny weather, so that really adds to the variety a little bit. I'm not sure if there were going to be any sort of events on the maps. Way back in one of the alpha tests, which is the first time that I played this game, there was crazy shit going on, like meteor storms, and it was like, you know, breaking the level apart. The destruction was absolutely insane there, though. I can tell that since then they have certainly dialed the destruction back to keep a little bit of integrity in the levels here, which was honestly probably the best decision. So you've got two different game modes here. The first one is called Cashout, and you basically have to go to this thing called the vault, grab this money box, wait for the vault to open and sort of defend it whilst it's doing so. Then you grab the money box and make your way to a cash out station, deposit the box there, and then again wait and defend the cash out station until you have banked your money. First one to 20,000, sometimes it's 40,000, depends on the game mode and the number of squads, wins the game. So you've got three different squads in this game mode, and each squad is comprised of 3 players. So you've got 3 different classes in this game, or builds as they're referred to. You've got a light build, a medium build, and a heavy build. So the light build has the fastest run speed. You get movement abilities like a grappling hook. You can also get a cloaking device, and then you can get a myriad of other gadgets to help you out, like grenades, flash grenades, smoke grenades, gas grenades. This class also has access to SMGs and then sort of light sniper rifles, think like the Scout from Counter-Strike. But it also has the lowest health pool, so this build is much more about ambushing the enemy, and it's also a great carrier once you get one of the money boxes out of a vault. Now the medium build is, as you would imagine, medium in run speed and health, and is mostly the support class, I would say. Like, you start off with a healing beam that you can use to heal your allies, you get a defibrillator so that you can revive your allies quicker. So to be clear, everybody in the game can revive their teammates, it's just a lot quicker to do it with defibrillators. But one of the interesting mechanics here is that when you die, you drop this small statue of yourself, and your teammates can actually pick up that statue and then move it into a safer position in order to revive you. So let's say your statue is like right on the objective and there's, you know, incendiary grenades and gas grenades going off in there. They can pick up that statue, move it behind cover, and then revive you. Now, as for weapons, they get like an AK-47. They also get some sort of a powerful revolver, lots of different grenades, just like the light build. And then they also get things like a jump pad that you can place down, and you and your allies can use that. So each class does seem to get some sort of movement ability. Oh yeah, and then they also have the goo grenade, and I think they have some sort of like a goo gun as well. It launches all of this like what looks like white foam, and it can be used to block off pathways, block areas, staircases, anything you want really, and you have to fire a significant amount of rounds into these goo globs to actually get rid of them. Now finally, the heavy build has the most health and the slowest movement speed, and they get access to the big guns. So you get LMGs, you get flamethrowers, you get an RPG as a gadget. That's really nice for blowing up the ceiling or the floor underneath an objective, and just having the objective, if you want, drop down into the room that you're in below. That is certainly a legit tactic in this game. They also get barriers and shields that they can place down, and their general role is defense. So I bet a lot of you are wondering what the gunplay in this game feels like, and I'm happy to tell you that the gunplay and the movement, they both feel pretty good to me. Last time I played in the beta, I think it was a closed beta, it honestly didn't really feel great. I played a couple of rounds and then I just put the game down because it just didn't feel particularly responsive. But I've completely forgotten about that now because the game just feels completely different. So whatever the problems were there in that closed beta, they seem to have solved them. Enemies do have a pretty long time to kill, so this really is going to reward your aim, you know, especially going for headshots. If you're coming from a game like Battlefield that has a relatively fast time to kill, going for headshots in that game, not really that important, but in this game, Very important. And that actually does mean in some cases that you can kill 2 enemies with 1 magazine of an SMG or with the AK, for example. But of course, this time to kill is designed around you playing with your teammates, so you are supposed to do things like set up ambushes, you know, 3v1 people, 2v1 people, and really get the drop on them. So I guess in essence here, what this is another extraction shooter when it comes down to it. But I would say that 2 of the things that really set this game apart is, first of all, the destruction, but second of all, the verticality and just the movement you have here. I mean, it is just crazy. There are grappling hooks, there are zip lines, there are jump pads, just absolutely everywhere. And, you know, even though this game is a long way away from being something like Quake, the movement sometimes reminds me almost of a game like that. You do seem to have a lot of moments where you're ziplining or grappling up somewhere, flying through the air, and simultaneously trying to track an enemy and get some headshots on them. And of course, you guys can try this game out as well. It is currently in open beta, I believe, on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and on Steam, so feel free to give it a go. Just beware though, it may take you a little bit of time to get used to the verticality, the movement, and the destruction on these maps, because they are pretty big, and it will take you a while to get used to navigating them. I would also say if you can get a couple of friends to download the game and play it with you, that will really go a long way. This is a heavily team-based game here. You're really not going to do well if you go it alone against a squad of 3 enemy players and you just rush ahead. So try to get some teammates, because most of the people that I've been playing with randomly sort of run around like headless chickens. They rush into the objectives, or they split up over the map and we all go for different objectives, which doesn't work either. So yeah, I would definitely recommend playing with a few buddies. Now the second game mode is called Bank It, and this time you're going to have 4 squads of 3 players, and this one is a little bit more fast paced. So instead of having vaults that spawn around the map and you have to grab and take to a cash out station, you open up the vault and coins will come out of it. You scoop up those coins. You can also get coins from killing enemy players, and then you take those coins to one of the cash out stations and you can just simply deposit them. You don't have to wait there and defend. The difference here though is you can see how much money an enemy player is carrying at any time. So if you die and you're holding a bunch of cash, you're going to drop all of that money. Think, you know, Sonic dropping all his rings. That's going to be you. And the enemy is going to scoop up all of that cash and get an easy win. In fact, a legit tactic in this mode is just to simply wait by the cash out station and then wait for somebody to come by with a bunch of money, kill them, and then deposit it yourself. Now this game is of course designed to be highly competitive, and they do have a rank system. There is a tournament system, as it's called, in the beta here, so you can climb up through the bronze, silver, gold rankings. And for this tournament, you are going to be playing Cash Out. And this is the way it works. You basically start in the quarterfinals. So you've got 4 teams of 3 players, and then there's another group also with 4 teams of 3 players. The top 2 teams who score the most amount of cash will then go through to the semi-finals. Then again, the top 2 teams from the semi-finals will go through into the final, and then finally you just duke it out there to see who wins the tournament. Hence the name of the game, the finals. So it is a little bit similar in length, I guess, to like playing a round of Counter-Strike. It's not the quickest game ever. You do need to take, you know, maybe like 40, 45 minutes to play an entire tournament. And so I guess that segues nicely into the final point I want to come to in this video, and that is this going to be a success, or is it simply going to be another drop in the ocean of endless free-to-play shooters? Honestly, this game is a lot of fun. I've really thoroughly enjoyed myself, at least when I've been playing with friends, and I think there is enough different with this game, even though, yes, it is, when it comes down to it, an extraction shooter, to set it apart from the competition, with the destruction, with the verticality, with the movement here. And honestly, I also kind of like the theme of the game with the game show aspect to it, even though a lot of the skins kind of look Fortnite inspired. I think it just fits within the world that they've created for this title. But honestly, I really don't know. This could be a game that everybody leaps on and, you know, everyone and their grandmother starts to play. Then again, it could just be one of those 2-week wonders where all the people playing Apex or Counter-Strike 2 are going to come to this game, give it a go, but then they're just going to go back to their original title if they don't find that this game is better than Counter-Strike or better than Apex Legends or whatever. But, you know, I guess, as always, time will tell. I wish Embark all the best with their release, because this is definitely a game at least worth trying. Guys, as always, leave me your thoughts on the finals down below in the comments section. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video today, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.